Okay, we start first lah. So okay, so later we'll do the calculation question for the what we call the chapter 3. Okay, the main thing I want to do chapter 3 first because a lot of Form 4, Form 5 students, they're very weak in chapter 3. So they confuse all the calculation, all that. So later we will handle this formula. So for the calculation for chapter 3 is very simple and we have 3 formula. First one is the mass over molar mass, okay, which is the gram. Then after that, volume over molar volume, which is the DMQ and CMQ. Then sometimes you see the question, they request you to find atom, molecule, or ion. This one will be the particle. This one will be particle. So it's very simple. Like you go to the, if you come for my class, then it's very simple that if you go to pasar, right, if you have a chicken, right, you cannot directly system butter with the veggie. So you cannot just use your chicken to exchange the vegetable, or you want to buy some orange juice to drink. So you cannot just straight away change. What you need to do is you always need to sell your chicken into money first. So once you have the money, then after that you want to buy orange juice, you want to buy veggie, you want to buy chicken, very simple. So whatever things they give you, you always change the number of more first. So after change the number of more, right, then only you go and find your volume or find your particle. So it means whatever things they're given you in exam, first you convert to number or more. So example, if I got chicken, I want to buy veggie. So what I need to do is just change the mass or molar mass to number or more. Then from number or more, you change to particle. So this is the brief idea. The molar mass same with the related atomic mass, yes. Later, my question also, school exam question, right? They also will challenge on this part that whether you understand what is related atomic mass, molar mass, what is the difference and this. So what we're doing now is all the school pass year. But it's the tougher one, okay, it's a tougher one. Means I gather all the pass year for these 20 years from school. Then from there, we will try the question, learn from question. So you see example, just use some sample. Let's say I got 12 DMQ. This one I got 12 DMQ. So I got 12 DMQ. I want to convert to mass. So very simple. I will use number of mole equals to volume or molar volume. So my volume is 12, molar volume is 24. Then molar volume always given. What is a molar volume? 24. Then you get half mole. So half mole is like your money, 50 cents. Then after that, you take your 50 cents because number of mole is the same. Number of mole is the same. So you bring this thing, 50 cents here, convert to your molar mass. So oxygen gas is O2. So it's 2 times 16. Then you can find your gram. So you can see whatever question given, you can change the mole first, then switch to what you need. Example, give more example. Say, example, this one, you have 8 grams. So now I have 8 grams. So first thing I do is I use mass or molar mass. Because gram is mass. So 8 grams divided by oxygen gas O2, I get 25 cents. Then this 25 cents I have, right? Then I will try to convert to the number of atom. So you use number of particle over the other constants. So I find the molecule first. Then I get this much of molecule. Then from O2, because every oxygen have 2 atoms, so I times 2, the number. Then I'll get my final answer. I'll be something like this. Will be something like this. Okay. So this is the overall idea first. So now you turn to page 36. We learn using question because sometimes you have to write first. Then after that you understand. Okay. So now page 36. So first thing you write out the formula on top first. Number of mole is equals to, got 3 formula. You just write once first. Mass over molar mass. Page 36. You write out the 3 formula first to make sure you're very clear on what you're learning. Then volume over molar volume. Then number of particle over our constants. So the first one is when it's gram. Gram, how many gram? Then after that, volume is when they give you dm cube or cm cube. Then the third one is when they give you atom, molecule, ion, that is. Actually, we go for the school pass here because you actually learn faster, at least very similar to the school exam question. Okay, so write out the three formula first. Make sure you're very clear on these three formula. So with the three formula, we keep using these three formula, then it will be simple. Okay, so okay, so how do we start? Okay, normally school question, they'll give you something like this. They'll draw out the formula for you. Then after that, from this formula, you need to calculate for me how many C, how many H, how many O, how many N like this. Okay, so I try to do the calculation here. How many C we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can write C8. Okay, then we check how many H we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So H9. Then we calculate how many oxygen you have. 1, 2, so O2. Then after that, how many nitrogen you have? We have 1. Okay, this type of question need to be careful because if your part A you calculate wrong, right, then the whole question gone because all the question below is all depends on this. Okay, so now after I calculate, I open up my answer, see whether correct or not. 8921. Okay, 8921. Okay, correct. So it's correct already. Okay, so this is the first one. Then what is a relative molecular mass? So relative molecular mass is given everything here already. You can see H is equals to 1, carbon is 12, oxygen is 16, then this is 14, then 32. Wait, got sulfur, don't have. Okay, double check, no more sulfur. So now you can write down the relative atom mass. I got 8 carbon, so 8 times 12, because carbon is 12, plus hydrogen is 1, so 9 times 1. Nitrogen is 14, then 2 times 16. The arrangement still okay. So normally we do like C, H, O, then the rest behind normally lah. But the C and H and O try to be in front. C and H, main thing is C and H. So this one need another calculator. So normal calculator cannot calculate. Yeah, so 8 times 12 plus. Hey, you don't copy answer because to make sure that you are good, take out calculator and try. So because we're practicing the school exam question. Okay, 151. You're done already? Have you done? Okay. Careful. I'm not too fast or not too slow because we only have 2 hours. So I try to, if possible, cover all the important questions here. Now, see, first thing, you need to know this thing. You need to know, sometimes school will challenge you on this part. Do you know what is the difference between relative atomic mass or molecular mass and molar mass? What's the difference? Relative molecular mass, they are ratio method, means I comparing hydrogen with 1/12 carbon. So how many times? Wow, cannot, very ugly. Like this, 1/12 carbon. So we're comparing. So for this one, there's no unit here. So let's say I get 151, it will be 151, and there's no unit because it's like 151 tons heavier than 1/12 carbon. But molar mass will have same answer, but it has unit. So molar mass will be same 151, but it has a unit that gram per mole. Means 1 mole is 151 gram. Okay, so you need to know this one because sometimes school exam they'll give you this one. Sometimes they ask for molar mass, sometimes they ask for relative molecular mass. So you must know relative molecular mass. There's no unit here, 151. If they ask for molar mass, you must remember to put in the gram per mole. The gram per mole, don't forget. Yeah, so this is the first thing that you need to know. Okay, then after that, okay, now they want number of paracetamol molecule, okay, in the 500 mg tablet. Okay, so first thing, help me to convert the 500 milligram to gram lah. So it's divide 1000. Milli is 1000. Okay, so then after that, the next step, because they converting, now they try to convert the mass into particle. Okay, so because the mass is gram, the particle is one, what they want is molecule. Okay, so now you write down these two formulas, because I always ask my students to write the formula first, because you know mass ma, so use mass over molar mass. You want to find particle ma, use the number of particle over our constants. There are only three formula: mass over molar mass, particle over our constants, and then volume over molar volume. Only three formula. There's nothing else. So it's the calculation very simple. Now a lot of students very weak in calculation because they think that it's very complicated. That it's very simple. It's just you have chicken, you want to buy orange juice. You have chicken, you want to buy veggie. Then after that, you just sell the chicken away to get the number of mole first. Then buy whatever things you want. Okay, so sell it to become money first. So you see now, the mass now is 0.5 gram. Divide by molar mass, we calculated just now 151. That's why your part A must correct, because if you part A, yeah, you can, but try to arrange C first, then H first. These two always in front. Then behind you want O first, N also can. You want N and O also okay one. But try to be C and H first. Okay, so you divide first. 0.5 divide by 151. So you get a number. Do at least 3 significant. At least 3 to 4 significant. Yeah. The reason you come for the live seminar is because the question I do is slightly complicated. So if you don't understand, you ask. Don't worry about the because if you watch the video in the YouTube, if you have a question, you just can't ask. So you just try to whatever don't know, you just ask. Okay, so now I get my money already. So I managed to get very little money. Then now I convert to use my money to buy the particle. So this is my money. So I try to use this money to buy the particle. Yeah, so this is my money. You get this concept very simple. Yeah, you can write 3 times 10 power 3.311 times 10 power -3, no problem. Okay, then you bring over there. It's all school pass here. So once we finish these 2 hours, then you're actually ready for exam. Better do the school pass here, because sometimes if I do all the basic question, then done. No school pass here done. You also go inside exam, then stuck there. Okay, so everybody get this? It's quite simple. Huh? Quite simple. Okay, then after that, now they ask you one question that, so in 500 mg tablet, we have this much of the molecule. Then now they ask you number of mole, okay, number of mole of paracetamol can be taken by an adult. So you look at the question here, it got mentioned that adult can take 2 tablets, 4 times in 24 hours. So I 2 tablets 1 time times 4. I maximum can eat 8 tablets Panadol per day. That's the maximum. If you eat more than that, you might get liver damage. So cannot more than that. Okay, maximum 8 per day. So now 1 tablet is 0.00331 mole. So 8 tablet will be times 8 lah. Yeah, 8 tablet will be times 8. This is the application question. Okay, then after that, determine the mass of 0.15 mole of paracetamol. So same, put in the formula first. Number of mole equals to mass over molar mass. So now my mole is 0.15. I got 0.15 money. Then put in my mass for me. Divide by 151. So far, okay. So this is the first question. This is one of the first sample question from school, but it's an application question that you need to read through the question to know that 1 day maximum 8 P rather than just directly read the part A, part B, part C. You need to read back the paragraph to know what they're asking or that. Okay. So once you're okay, we will practice another question. So far, okay. Okay, so this first thing, are you able to calculate the number? As I say, the question is, you make sure you don't calculate wrong. How many C, how many H, how many O? So if you calculate wrong, then the answer or everything will be gone. Okay, so now can we try to calculate some? This is vitamin A. You help me to calculate how many C, how many H, how many O carefully. The formula must be correct. If not, everything here will be wrong. Okay, so you try first. I just let you try. F is 0.15. Oh, sorry, I typed wrong here. So this one is 22.65. I typed 0.5. Okay, so now 22.65. Huh? Okay, now you should calculate for me how many C, how many H. So you might careless in the exam, but once you careless, the whole question gone. So you try first. Then you try calculate. Then after that, open the answer, see whether you're correct or not. Just calculate carefully. You still remember the glucose is C6H12O6. So based on this one, we will arrange according to something like this. This follow the glucose. The glucose is C6H12O6. So we follow the same method, C first, H first, O. Okay, so I calculate together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, done the carbon. Then we try the hydrogen. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 plus 3, 15, 16, 17, 20, 21, 22, 23, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Wow, this one very easy calculate wrong. Oxygen, 1 and 2. Okay, you all check, answer correct. Okay, so another is what I calculate. I check my answer correct. Wait, why I got extra oxygen? Oh, okay, 1 oxygen on it. But this time why I can see another oxygen? Let me check. Yep, only 1 oxygen. So okay, so now after that, use this one to calculate your molar mass. So C is 12, then H is 1. So it's 20 times 12 plus 30 times 1 plus 16. Okay. So, but when you calculate, right, remember the molar mass, because what they want is, now I calculate the molar mass first. I get this unit. Then because they want for 1 mole, so we just use the same answer. Because 286 gram per mole means 1 mole is 286 gram. This one, the part A must correct, because if part A wrong, then part 2, part 3 all gone, because you're using the same answer, 286, for the rest of the question. So please double check if possible. Then now they want mass. So put in the mass, what you want to find is mass. So use the mass formula, mass or molar mass. If I'm too fast, let me know. If you don't understand, let me know. Then after that, I explain, and I make sure you understand. You only we proceed because the question I do now is getting more and more complicated one. Yeah. So then you put in the 0.025 mole. This is the money. Mole is the money. Then put in your mass. Over molar mass is 286. Okay, 286. So bring over there 0.025 times 286. So you get mass equals to 7.15 gram. Yeah. Okay, determine the number of molecule presence in 20.02 gram of vitamin A. So now they want to convert mass into molecule, particle. So first thing, write down the two formula first. This is gram. This is what they want, molecule. We know mass 20.02 over molar mass is same 286. You get a number of moles. So the converting only three: mass, volume, molecule, means particle. Volume is the gas. So now we're not yet see any question for volume, is because we're not doing any gas now. Volume or gas. Okay, so first thing you divide first, you'll get 20.02 divided by 286. You get 0.07. Okay, bring over your 0.07 here. Then number of molecule. Our constant is always fixed. They're always given in the question. You can see here. Our constant is 6.02 times 10 power 23. Yeah, 6.02 times 10 power 23. The calculation is important. Why I choose chapter 6 to do in the seminar is because later if you forgot about the calculation, you always can refer back to the video in the YouTube channel. So you get 4.214. Very good. Thank you for giving me the answer, because you have the scientific calculator. I'm using handphone calculator. Okay, so far okay. Now then, once you done this, now this is the terbalik. They want to convert this molecule into mass. So terbalik now. It's the same question but terbalik. So now they want to convert particle back to mass. Now terbalik the process. Particle back to mass. So same now. Bring in your particle. 7.525 times 10 power 22 divide by your molar mass, the Avogadro constants. Is the answer 35 or so fast? Okay, good. Okay, let me divide first. 7.525 divided by 6.02. So 1.25, so it's 0.125. Okay, so we bring in the 0.125 here. Very good, very good. You can do very fast, means you get it already. Mass over molar mass is 286. Then you'll get your mass equals to times in. So far, okay? Yeah. So good. So now we will proceed to, but every question I designed to have 3, because after 3 questions, you should be quite confident. Then you move on to another type of question. Okay, because if the first question maybe you still blur a bit, second question you start to, I start to understand a bit. And the third question is just for you to prove that you fully understand. Okay, so look at this third question. You know what to start first, lah. So for question 3, first, help me to calculate how many C, how many H, how many O, and how many N. Yeah, calculate the 7C first. This type of question need to be careful. If possible, try to calculate twice to make sure your little example, let's say this question, the answer is C6. Then when you walk out exam hall, everybody discussing about C7, then you stand there, means you are the only one is C6, the rest is C7. Yeah, so you calculate first. So how many C, how many H, how many O? Calculate. I calculate also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Draw off everything first. H 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oxygen. I write everything first. Just now I saw, don't know, somehow the C become O. 1, 2, 3. 3. Nitrogen. 1. Okay, check the answer first. It's okay. It's normal to make mistake because the formula looks like very complicated. Okay, no problem. So next one, can you find molar mass for me? So you remember molar mass? This one, I forgot to type in the number. It's okay. Carbon 12. Hydrogen is 1. Oxygen is 16. Nitrogen is 14. Okay, so you calculate the molar mass. Remember, molar mass, you must remember that whether got unit or no unit. Need to be careful on this one. If no unit, you write down the gram per mole, then wrong. If got unit, you forgot to write the gram per mole, 0. So they'll ask you this one. So sometimes your school will come out relative molecular mass, sometimes they will come out molar mass. This is what they're going to do. 8 times 12 plus 11 plus 14 plus 3 times 16. 3 times, 3 times 16, correct. So it's 169 gram per mole. Okay, gram per mole, be careful. Need to write gram per mole because molar mass got unit. Okay, then now we do this one. Gram to molecule. Same just now. Gram to molecule. Okay, help me to find out the final answer. See whether are you able to write. Yeah, you can write O first and N also okay. You can write CHON. No problem. Like I want to write. I also write this one. O only N. So okay. But the C and H try to be in front. Yeah. So help me to convert. Now they got 5.75 gram. They want to convert to molecule. So it means they try to convert mass to particle. Yeah. So first thing, put in your 5.75 divide by your 169. Yeah, we have 169. Convert to money first. Convert the number or move first. Calculation, okay. So far, okay. Calculation. So if you okay, then good. Simple. So this one we need to do the decimal thing. Okay, so now put in the 0.0342. Our concern 6.02 times 10 power 22, 23. 0.03402 times 6.02. So you get, check my answer here first. Yep, take 4 significant. So you will get this 2.48 times 10 power 22. Okay. Then for this one, they want to get the mass. So use mass or molar mass. Put in the 0.02, 0.005 equals to mass. Molar mass standard 169. So if I insert the mass divided by molar mass into number or mole in particle formula. Oh, you mean you both combine the formula, right? If your school teacher allowed, then okay, right? But I prefer this method is because later later we'll do some question that you find then those question like show you here. I'm not sure I got sample here. Later we will try one type of question, like example this one. So they have this, then they want to find this. So in this case, you have to split into two. Means they want like N2 and the NA, N3. So in this case, you also have to use both formula. That's why you can see the question with, and at the end of the chapter, and this one is very similar. So this method can works for the whole chapters. Yeah. So then the empirical formula part. Can we simplify this formula or not? Empirical formula is the simplest whole number ratio. Can we simplify this or not? C8H11O3N. Can I? So the empirical formula will be the same. Cannot simplify. If you got like 2, 4, 6, 8, then we can simplify. Okay. Okay, done. We done the first type of question. So very good. Just on time. Then we go for the second type of question. Okay, second type of question is this. They will ask you to find empirical formula. So this empirical formula, very simple one. Now they give you gram, the mass, percentage. The rest is oxygen. So you see, for this type of question, we'll assume 100 gram of sample. Now, why 100 gram? Because if you use 100 gram, right, means 100 gram equals to 100%. So if you have 74.10%, means the mass will be the same. Okay, means you have this, how many percent will be how many gram? You have 7.4% or 7.4 gram. Okay, if you have 8.64%, 8.64 gram. Then the remaining is oxygen, so you need to minus. So this one you take the 100 minus 74.10, then minus 7.4, then minus 8.64, you'll get this number. Okay, this is the second type of question that exam possible to come up. Okay, then after that, use it to divide to find number or more, same lah, mass or more like mass. So you take this 74.1 divide by 12, then 7.4 divide by 1, 8.64 divide by 14, 9.86 divide by 16. Okay, try to divide first. This is the second type of question from the school past year. They will ask you to find the empirical formula. Okay, you divide first. We'll do about 3-4 type question, then I will discuss about the experiment, then done. Because the seminar extend too long also cannot, because you also tired already. 2 hours is just nice. Okay. Then rest 1 hour, then go to physics later. Yeah. So after divide, right, you get the mole, right? After that, what you need to do is you to find the smallest one. This one. You have to find the smallest one, smallest number. You divide. Everybody also divide by the smaller one. The reason why I divide by the small one, because to get the ratio, I need to make sure the smallest ratio is 1. Then the rest is like 10 times or 2 times or 3 times at least. You cannot like smallest ratio is 0.67, then you start there, they like don't know how to continue. So the smallest will be 1, then the rest will be more than 1, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 at least. Okay, so first thing you must carefully calculate the ratio. Now, once you get your empirical formula already, normally your school exam, they will give you the actual mass. Like example, they give you relative molecular mass is 324. 324. So in this case, right, they will ask you, empirical formula is the simplest ratio, ma. Then after that, now they want the real formula, molecular formula. How to know the new formula? First type, you write down for me. You just bracket n first, because real formula is really simplified. So it can, before simplify, it may be divided by 6, divided by 5, divided by 2 like this. So now from empirical to molecular, you need to times the number, maybe times 2, times 3, times 4. And then you know the real mass, is 324. So you take the real formula and the real matching together, then start to calculate out the answer. So carbon is 12, so 10 times 12 plus hydrogen is 1 plus 14 plus 16. Then this whole thing times n will equals to 324. Then you start to calculate out your n to see how much. 120 plus 12 plus 14 plus 16, you get 162. So your n will equals to 324 divided by 162. You get 2. Okay, once you get n equals 2 already, you bring back here. So now your molecular formula will be C10
H12 NO bracket 2. Then open up the bracket, it becomes C20 H24 N2 O2.
Same lah. Don't worry. The first question you might a bit blur, but I already designed 3 similar questions to do. Okay, then same lah. Now they want you to calculate how many atom in this quinite. So now I want to have my mass convert to particle. So particle means I got 20 gram. I want to convert how many atom. So in this case, you convert to molecule first. Yeah, so we do the calculation first. I got 20 gram. So 20 gram divide by 3 to 4. Yeah. 20 divided by 3 to 4. Oh, big number again. 0.06173 more. Okay, check my answer. I use 3 significant. Okay, so 0. So you bring your money here. So this is your money. Over here. Okay, but this time you need to calculate the molecule first because this is molecule. So first thing, you have to calculate the molecule first. You always, to calculate the atom, you have to calculate molecule first to see how many molecule you have. Then from there, you times. So in your, this molecule inside got how many atom? So we check one by one. 20 plus 24 hydrogen plus 2 nitrogen plus 2 oxygen. So you get your molecule already. Then 20 plus 24 plus 2, you times 48. Because inside this quinite, inside got 48 atom. So far you okay? I already designed the exercise from simple first, then until the second one. This one slightly tougher question because you have to calculate the empirical formula first. Then it involves the calculation that the gram convert to atom. It's slightly tougher than the first 3 questions we do. Okay, then we'll move on. Okay, so far okay. Can I proceed to the next one? Anybody not yet finished? Or finish it? Yeah. Don't worry. If you think it's too fast, also later you can go to YouTube. After the seminar, I'll upload to YouTube. You can watch again if you got time. Okay. Then after that, if your exams are very far away, like if your exam is on July or August, so when near exam, you can watch the video again. But at least you come for the live class so that you can ask me question if you don't understand. Okay. So now we try the next question again. You try to see whether you're able to calculate or not. So this one, give some time to try. As I told you, remaining is oxygen. So first you bring this number 69.8, then 11.6. Remaining is oxygen. So you minus. Then after that, you try to find the empirical formula, see how much you can get. 69, 8 divided by 12, 11.6 divided by 1, then 18.6 divided by 16. You see how much you get? So after you divide, yeah, so you divide by the small one. So the smallest one is this one. This is the smallest one. So you get the ratio to be 5, 5, 10, 1. Okay. Then after that, they give you the relative molecular mass. Relative molecular mass is 172. So you can bring the same question. So 172. Then you calculate out the actual formula is how much. Yeah. So you bring the carbon is 12, hydrogen is 1 inside. Then you get 86 equals to 172. Then from the 86 equals to 172, you're able to get n equals to 2. Then bring over the n equals to 2 to here. So C5, H10, O, then 2. They can get C10, H20, O2. Okay, now once you get this already, they will start to have some small calculation here. They want to calculate how many mole So then you ask, just no need to convert to anything, just convert the gram to mole. So now you start to divide now. 15.48 divide by where is it? 172. So 15.48 divided by 172, you get 0.09 mole. Okay, so far we have. Okay, then after that, here got some small question here that they give you X gram of iron, then 5.04 of oxygen. So from here, you put in X first, put in the 5.04. Second question, you mean which one? Yeah, this one is it. So you're able to get the one, you mean the upper part, do you get the empirical formula? You get 5, 10, 1. Then after you get this already, you check n, the n equals to 2. Okay, this one standard question. We do the third question to make sure you feel confident only and proceed to the next one. Okay, then this is another type of question. Given is x, so O is 16 this is 56. So I take x divided by 56. Then 5.04 divided by oxygen 16. Okay, 5.04 divided by oxygen 16. I get 0.315. Then this one unknown, but the ratio given is 2 to 3. Okay, 2 to 3. So the ratio, how do we get this one? It's very simple. You take this number, divide by 3 first, then times 2. Okay, 0.315 divided by 3 times 2. I'll get 0.21. From this 0.21, x over 56 is equals to 0.21. So x will equals to 56 times 0.21 will be 11.76 gram. This is another type of question, but this one normally come out in structural. No, normally come in essay. Objective normally. But sometimes will come out in structural. Sometimes the ratio method. I try to cover most of the part of the calculation. So in SPM, later when school exam, then you can watch back the video to go through one more time. Okay, this one divide by 3. It's like same thing like 2 chocolate and 3 chocolate. So 3 chocolate is 31.5 cents. So 2 chocolate, how much? You take the 31.5 cents, means 0.12315, divide by 3 first. To get your 1 chocolate is 10 cents, 10.5 cents. Then times 2 chocolate, you get 21 cents. The idea is something like this. Okay, then move on to the next one. Yep, this type of question slightly tougher. This type of question slightly tougher. Okay, so we'll go through here. First thing you calculate, we will do the calculation together. That this one got how many percent of carbon? So, carbon is 85.7 means hydrogen. Because hydrocarbon means got hydrogen and carbon only. Hydrocarbon X is carbon and hydrogen. If the carbon is 85.7, means your hydrogen will be 100 minus 85.7, which you'll get 14.3. Okay, then after that, you will take the 85.7 divided by the molar mass. To get the ratio first. 85.7 divided by 12. 14.3 divided by 1. Just slightly harder a bit because they not directly give you the molar mass. 7.142. So now both sides divided by 7.142. .3 divided by is 2. So the empirical formula is 2. Okay, CH2. Okay, then here, they don't directly, not like the previous question. Previous question, they directly give you the relative molecular mass is equals to 52, 172, like this. But this question, they don't give you directly, but they give you this information. 5.6 gram of this hydrocarbon occupied a volume of 4.48. So you see, the mass is 5.6 gram. Okay, the volume is 4.48 dm3. So you see, these two things, right, they involve two formula. Number of mole equals to
mass over molar mass, number of mole equals to volume over molar volume. So you see, you already have your mass. Okay, then you will also have your volume. Molar volume is given here, STP. So now, how do you calculate out? It's very simple. First, you use number of mole is equals to volume over molar volume. You calculate first up 4.4 divided by 22.4. 4.48 divided by 22.4, you get 0.2 mole. The number of mole is the same one. Number of mole is the same one. So now you use the number of mole equals to mass over molar mass. So the number of mole is 0.2. I use back the 0.2. The mass is 5.6. Then my molar mass. Molar mass. So molar mass. (5.6) divided by 0.2 equals to 5.6 divided by 0.2, get 28 gram per mole. Remember, molar mass has unit, gram per mole. So now they're asking relative molecular mass. So you write one more time. My relative molecular mass will equals to 28. This question is slightly harder than the previous one, that they don't, just now the question directly tell you the relative molecular mass is 28. This one, no, you have to calculate by yourself the relative molecular mass. So after you get this already, then you can calculate your molecular formula. So same concept. My molecular formula is CH2 bracket N. But now I know my real mass is 28. So I'll put in CH2 bracket N equals to 28. So okay, I'm not sure I got another question similar or not. Yep, I got another question that which is similar here. Oh no, this is another type. I think so. All these, those very tough calculation. Yeah, so if we go through this one first. Okay, so you put in the 12, carbon is 12. Plus 2 times 1, bracket N equals 28. So 14N equals to 28. N will equals to 2. Okay, then bring your N over here. Equals to 2. So your molecular formula will be C2H4. This one, I didn't give you another question, I think. Just let you try one time. If your exam question looks similar, then okay. Okay, so far you're okay, this one? This one is similar to previous two questions. Just they give you extra one step to calculate out the molar mass by yourself. Okay, I know. I mean, we do, as I say, what all the question we do now is all the school pass year, the hardest school pass year. So when you go back to school, the question very similar or easier, then you actually can score very high marks. Okay, the calculation part. So
Okay, this one is consider the highest level lah. Consider the highest level of the question here. This one is another level. They don't give you how many grams of carbon and hydrogen. Okay, so because he say it contain carbon and hydrogen, this film X contain carbon and hydrogen. This is another level lah. So means the X after I burn the X, it actually produce 44 grams of carbon dioxide gas and 22 grams of water, like this, after I burn. So this is another level lah, 44 gram and then 22.5 gram. So the X they really say that got C got H so it means this inside here got C and H, something like this. We don't know C, what is the formula lah. Now, so the idea is that this they'll burn with oxygen to get carbon dioxide gas. So from here, you actually can calculate out your carbon mass. Okay, so how many percentage of the carbon is very simple. I got one carbon divide by carbon dioxide. Okay, so this is the total mass. Here is the total mass. Then here is carbon. Then you times the number. So you see my answer here. Above is carbon ma. So carbon is 12 divided by carbon dioxide. 12 plus 2 times 16. Because the mass percentage we divide to two parts. One is carbon, another one is oxygen over like this. So the mass will divide to 2. So you can calculate the percentage of carbon first. How many carbon? Then times 44. They will get 12 grams. Means among that, 12 grams is come from the carbon. So same thing to your water. So for your water, I want to get hydrogen. So hydrogen divide by water, mass of water. So hydrogen is 1. I got 2 hydrogen, so 2H. Divide by water, 2 times 1 plus 16. Then you get your mass of carbon and hydrogen is 12 and 2.5. This one is considered this chapter the hardest question. That they don't directly give you how much gram of carbon, but they give you CO2. They give you CO2. So you see, your CO2, inside how many gram of the carbon belongs to carbon from the carbon dioxide is you use this ratio method. That 1 is for oxygen. Imagine if I calculate out both number, if I calculate this number, okay, 1 is 12, then 1 is 2 times 16 divided by 12 plus 2 times 16. Then if you calculate out the final answer, 12 here over 44, then here is 32 over 44. This is how you get the percentage. You can see among the 44, if we divide to 12 and 32 like this. So inside this carbon dioxide gas, inside got 12 grams of carbon and 32 grams of oxygen. This is how you calculate. Okay, so from there you do the calculation. Number of mole, you same divide by 12. This one divide by 16. Then the smallest one is 1. So both you get the ratio is 1 to 1.5. But you need to times 2 because 2.5 is not a real, it's not a whole number. You times 2. You times 2. Then you get your empirical formula is C2H5. This one is considered is the hardest question came out in school exam before lah. Okay, this one is a bit This one is a bit different that this type of question is like this. Okay, explain to you one more time. Example. We call percentage of carbon. So percentage of carbon is like let's say example, in this 44 gram, how do I know how many gram belongs to carbon? How many gram belongs to oxygen? So very simple one. This is what you do. Okay, I write off everything here one more time. Okay, so you see, in carbon dioxide gas, right, how many gram belongs to carbon? So first thing, the formula is very simple one. Both carbon dioxide so this is your mass. So this is 44. This one is 44. Okay. Then carbon portion, because in CO2, inside got CO2 means inside got 1C and 2O. So carbon and oxygen mass. So got divide to 2. So you see, if I calculate carbon is 12, oxygen is 16. So 2 times 16. So can you see the 12 over 44 and then 32 over 24? 12 plus 32 is equals to 44. Okay, then after that, from here, if you divide 12 divided by 44 is equals to 27%. Then 32 divided by 44 is equals to 73%. So actually use the carbon divided by total mass and oxygen divided by total mass, you can get percentage. Means that 27% of the mass of 44 is belongs to carbon. Then the 73% of the oxygen belongs to oxygen. This type of question actually come out in Form 6 syllabus. And then some school teacher, they go to find the question from the Form 6, then come out in Form 4. Just split that apart, yes. So you can see the idea, right? So this is the total mass. So this is total mass. Then I split into two. One is carbon beer, one is oxygen beer. So you see 44 split into two, one is 12, one is 32. They say after that you divide the 12 divided by 44, you get 27%. And then this one 73%. So 27 plus 73 is 100%. So I split that into two. So you can see here, I put the carbon. If I want carbon beer mass, I put carbon divided by total mass. I check this thing from not from what we call SPM book. It's all from the Form 6 means A level. Then the school teacher come in the school exam. Because no choice, you only test chapter 2, chapter 3, so not much to us. Okay, so after that you get the empirical formula, then equals to 58. So same thing, molecular formula is C2H5 bracket N. That's why I say that now we do all the school parts here, so that if you go back to school, it really came up this question, you roughly know how to write. Okay, then you bring inside. So carbon is 12 times 2, then plus 5 times 1 equals to 58. Then you calculate out the answer. So carbon is 2, 12, 5 times 1, then whole thing times N equals to 58. (24 plus 5), 29N, 58. So N will equals to 2. Then bring over here, C2H5, bracket 2, then equals to C4H10. Okay, so up to here, I think the second type of the question, the highest level we done already. Then now we move on to the experiment. Normally for the exam that when came out chapter 3, right? In exam, they always come out the what we call the two empirical experiment formula. Or the balance equation. Yep. Okay, we can do a bit of balance equation. balance equation, the question is something here. Can we try the balance equation? Also okay. Because this is your weakness also. We try. So now you turn to page 44. The question, this equation, balance equation, this equation. Oh, mean for this equation, let me check. So this is the formula is C4H10 burn with oxygen. Yeah, burn with oxygen. So carbon and oxygen become carbon dioxide. And then hydrogen with oxygen will become water. This is what they say lah. The fuel X burn with oxygen, you produce carbon dioxide and water. Do we need the seminar notes? You don't have? Oh, means you are doing in test pack. The seminar notes you can download also can, or you can request the notes. This is how you enter you went into the website, right? Writing on paper right now. Okay, it's okay, it's okay. You can download it if you want, or you also can request the hard copy that we send to your house. Just how you go to the website, TDC website, right? There got that you choose, you can download, you go to the Google Drive, you can download the print out yourself. Another one is that you click, then enter your old address, we will send to your house also. Okay, then balance equation, we try to balance the equation. Okay, this is 4 carbon, so I put a 4 here. So you can see both sides 4 carbon. 4 carbon, 4 carbon. Okay, both sides 4 carbon. Then hydrogen is 10, so I put a 5 here. So both sides will have 10 hydrogen. Okay, both sides have 10 hydrogen. Okay, so then after that, you check our oxygen. So oxygen here is 4 times 2 is 8. Here is 5. So total up is 13. The problem is we can't, 2 cannot become 13. So in this case, right, you find the biggest one times 2. Biggest one times 2 means you see which one is the biggest molecule times 2. So this is the biggest molecule. So you times 2. So when you're stuck like this, right, then you find the biggest one times 2. Okay, then now we redo the question one more time. Times 2 already, we redo the question one more time. Okay, so now we check first. My carbon, I have 2 times 4, so it's 8. So now carbon, it has 8 carbon left hand side, right hand side. You can see here is 8, 2 times 2, 2 times 4, here is 8 also. Okay, then the next one, we will check the carbon done already. Then now we check the hydrogen. Hydrogen is 2 times 10, 20. So here I need 20, so I put a 10 here. Okay, so left hand side, right hand side, I got 20 hydrogen. Okay, then we check our oxygen here. Here is 8 times 2 is 16. Here is 10 hydrogen. Total is 26 hydrogen. So 26 hydrogen, I put 13 here. Okay, this is the balance equation. Okay, okay, so I want to go to do the experiment one. So we go to the experiment part. Because this experiment part is one of the potential that might come out in your school exam that in essay, because it's possible to come out in essay. So I need to like roughly do a bit, just in case that if essay came out, you know how to answer. Because essay is 20 marks. Everybody turn to page 30. You roughly go through this experiment. Page 30. So first thing, help me to write down the definition for the molecular Yeah. So same lah. You see, this one, I want to do this one because of the essay. They might come out essay to ask you what is the differences between these two experiments. So I need to go through this one. Okay, so you see, how do I get the mass of the magnesium? Is very simple. Okay, this is 1, 2, and 3. To get the mass of magnesium, you take number 2 minus number 1. Okay, number 2 minus number 1, because number 2 is two things, but number 1 is one thing. So you cancel off the 2 minus 1, you get your magnesium. Okay, then to get oxygen biomass, you take 3 minus 2. Okay, so because if you minus off, cancel, you get oxygen. Okay, so you minus first. So the methods, everything same, we just saw. So this method is like you take the magnesium, burn with oxygen. Magnesium, burn with oxygen, you get your magnesium oxide. Okay, so you same after you divide, they'll give you the molar mass of the magnesium is 24. So you take 1.2 divided by 24. Here is 0.8 divided by oxygen 16. You should get the ratio 1 to 1 because you know Mg and O is the ratio is 1 to 1. So you should get the number of mole is the same. So the ratio 1 to 1. So the empirical formula is MgO. That is. For a very simple experiment, I just go through a bit first to make sure you're okay. Because the essay is 20 marks, but they might come out something like this for you here. So I need to make sure you understand both experiment well. Then after that, they'll do the comparison. The essay will ask you to do comparison. Okay, so very simple here, the equation, magnesium is Mg, oxygen is gas, so it's O2. Okay, then you see the ratio, you get MgO, so the answer will be MgO. Okay, then we do the balance equation. So balance equation, very simple one. You got 2O here, you got 1O here, so put a 2 here to make sure it's balanced. Then 2 mg here, 2 mg here. This one would be 1 marks. Both experiments you must know well because they might come out essay. And normally your coming exam, the essay cannot choose one. This whatever that came out, you need to answer. Okay, then for this experiment, right? Because the crucible is here, so just explain all the theory lah. This is the crucible. So you cover it with the lip. You cover it with the lip. Why we need to cover with the lip? Is because if you don't cover, you open like this, right? The white powder inside will fly out. When it fly out, right, then the mass is not carried. Original is 40.5. Then you fly, maybe you fly away 1 gram or 2 gram, then your mass will become 38.5 like this. So you rather for me to avoid the white film. Magnesium oxide is white color. You don't let him fly away. You need to cover it so that they won't able to fly away as a white film, white color smoke. Then sometimes you ask the what we call the precautionary step. So this is what you need to do. If you fully close with the cover, there's no oxygen. There's no oxygen there. So to solve this thing, you have to open at the interval, open a bit to let some oxygen to enter. Then quickly close back to prevent him to fly away. This is all the theory. You see, essay, they always ask a lot of theory. That's why I need to explain to you all these things, these two experiments, to make sure you can answer this essay. Normally chapter 3 come out essay, then because some schools you have your exam on July or August, some of you. July, August, the exam scope will be until chapter 5, lah, something like this, chapter 5. So until chapter 5, right, you have 3 essay, full paper. If your exam in July or August should be full paper one. Then you have 3 essay. So the 3 essay very standard. Chapter 5, one essay from chapter 5. Standard lah, in the exam. Chapter 5. Then chapter 4, 1 essay. Then another chapter will be 2 or 3. So if 3 come out, they'll ask about this experiment. Quite standard, they'll ask this experiment. Okay, then after that, some of my students complained to me that after you do the experiment, right, they didn't get MGO, they get MG20. Now, why this happened? It's because if you want to make sure it's MG to MGO, we know that MG is like the example, let's say 10 gram, example, 10 gram. Then at the end, maybe become 16 gram, example. If when you try to burn the magnesium, you don't burn like 100% change to MgO. Maybe you burn until 50%. Then your mass will increase until 13 gram. It means not yet all change to MgO. Then you repeat the experiment again. You try to heat the magnesium again. Maybe it turns into 14 gram. Also not yet complete. Then you heat again until 15 gram. Then until you heat again until a number, right, is stopped there. Because at 16 gram, all change to MgO anymore. If you heat further, it won't increase anymore because all already changed. So if they ask you, how do you ensure the reaction is complete? This is what you do. You repeat these 3 processes. Repeat heating, cooling, weighing is repeated until you get a constant mass. Constant mass means the mass stop at a number. Means the reaction complete. This not always come out in the exam. This not always come out in the exam. I go to the theory part because this theory part might come up in essay. Another essay might be chapter 2 or 3. So if come out chapter 3, you have some calculation like what we do just now. Plus, maybe 5 to 10 marks will be in the theory for these 2 experiments. You ask you why this, why that, why this, why that. So I just briefly explain about these 2 experiments. Then we'll do some essay for these 2 experiments. If all the calculation came out in the essay will be similar to what we do just now, but they won't come out 20 marks calculation. They'll come out like maybe 10 marks calculation. Another 10 marks will be theory. So the theory will be this one. I'll go through all the theory part. Okay, so you write down first. So how do you know the reaction complete? How do you know when you can stop the experiment? You repeat these 3 processes until your mass stop at a number. If the number stop there, you continue heat and continue heat, the number does not increase anymore, means the reaction finished with you. Yeah, standard one. Because normally, if the student don't know, then some of your friends will die side that they'll open up, like all the white film fly out. Now fly out, no need to continue the experiment field. The standard one is normal. But at least you can see something flying, beautiful smoke. At least. Now, the theory essay they will ask in the exam. They always ask this question. Hey, I think you still remember last time when Form 3, your teacher got teach you about the reactivity series, right? Do you still remember that how to remember the reactivity series? I think your school teacher got teach you before lah. So this is my method. Kalau nak kahwin mesti ada zinc flexible supaya perempuan hasil cukup anak. Now here is H plasma. Your hydrogen gas is somewhere here. This is your hydrogen gas. Okay, the metal above is more reactive metal. You see, remember reactivity series? The metal above is more reactive metal. The metal below is less reactive metal. Now, this experiment only for the metal which above. Now, why is only for the metal which above? Because metal is above is more reactive. So when you try to react a magnesium with oxygen, it will become MgO very fast. Very fast, okay? But if, example, this question, they ask you why this method is not suitable to find the empirical formula for the for the copper 2 oxide. Copper is below here. So if you try to burn copper and oxygen, right, the reaction is very slow. Very slow. If you were to heat copper and oxygen, the reaction is very slow. It might take hours to do, few hours to do. So highly not recommended to use this method. So your essay, if come out K-bar essay, they will ask you to choose which experiment should you use to determine the empirical formula for the copper 2 oxide. So you have to decide. Remember, this crucible experiment only for reactive matter for above here, or the reactive metal above. Of course, you don't choose potassium, sodium. Potassium, sodium very dangerous, right? So you can choose magnesium, aluminum, zinc, like this, or the above one. Then those below one, how? Those below one, you have to use another method. Okay, you have to use another method. You have to clarify on this part because there is a 10 marks theory. They'll ask you what is the difference between these two experiments. Is 10 marks. They're going to ask a lot of king question. So you need to know what is the difference. This experiment for reactive metal. Then the other experiment is for less reactive metal. Okay, so you done it? I will continue the essay. Then after finish the essay, I think it's almost time. Then maybe if we got extra 10 minutes, then we can do maybe slightly more, a little bit more question. Okay, one. But the meantime, I need to make sure this essay you are good because for the essay, right, we don't know which essay can choose. If you cannot choose this essay, then you have to answer. Okay, for those that more reactive metal, you need to use let me check which one should I use here. All this I will give an answer. I choose one of the question that. Okay, I choose this one. Page 27. This is the textbook question. I choose this one more time. Yeah. So first thing, how many to write down the empirical formula, the definition, simplest ratio. This time is the actual number. So this time, your coming exam, they sure ask you about what we call the definition of empirical formula or molecular formula. Quite standard one. Okay. Now I roughly explain this experiment because if they ask in detail in essay, you have to really know the difference. Okay, just so you understand, the one is for more reactive metal, this is for less reactive metal. So how this one works is very simple. You see here. First thing, they have these two chemical. I use this question to explain. Then after that, we'll try the essay. Now they have these two chemical. So zinc plus hydrochloric acid. Okay, zinc plus hydrochloric acid, run up for me. Zinc plus hydrochloric acid. So zinc is Zn, hydrochloric acid is HCl. Okay, now when you enter chapter 4 later, they won't give you the product. You have to roughly guess the answer. So this is normally how I choose. I teach my student to guess the product. Very simple and see. Zn, if you memorize the charge, it is a 2 plus. Then acid is H plus and Cl minus. Okay, there's a H plus and Cl minus. So now we're saying that zinc added to HCl, hydrochloric acid. So what is the product? You can guess one. Very simple guessing. You say very simple guessing that logically the positive will with negative together. So Zn will with Cl together. So if Zn with Cl together, what will be the formula? Zn 2 plus Cl minus, right? The plus and minus we take away, the 2 we cross down. Then bring over here, ZnCl2. And then hydrogen nobody want because the positive and negative, the hydrogen nobody want. It will come out as what? It will come out as hydrogen gas, which is H2. Pure hydrogen, nobody wants the. So you come out as hydrogen gas. Then of course you say, oh, teacher, why the Cl got 2, H got 2, then left hand side don't have 2? Then you do the balance equation, put a 2 here. So these two chemicals add up together. The purpose of these two chemicals add up together is to produce hydrogen gas. Is to produce hydrogen gas. So help me to write down. The purpose of these two chemicals add up together is to produce hydrogen gas. Zinc and hydrochloric acid add up together is to produce hydrogen gas. Don't worry, these two experiments is very simple one. So I now explain to you, let you fully understand what is the difference between these two experiments. Then we do all the theory, because the essay, you compare these two experiments together. Okay, so right now, the purpose, these two add up together is to produce hydrogen gas. Then they will produce hydrogen gas. Then after that, right, the hydrogen gas produced, right, you can see here, from the pipe here, they will produce this hydrogen gas, and this hydrogen gas will go up to here. They will meet with copper 2 oxide. So for copper 2 oxide, what happened? Copper 2 oxide is CuO ma. When they meet with hydrogen gas, okay, because for copper is less reactive ma. Hydrogen is more reactive. Okay, so it's like it's like the hydrogen is more handsome. So what happened here is then copper is less handsome. So the girlfriend run away. Like this one. Okay, something like this. Something like this. So the hydrogen will take away the oxygen from the copper. Okay, so you have to remember the color lah. So you need to know the color of the chemical. So for the color for copper, you know copper is brown color. It's a brown color solid. Then for copper 2 oxide, it's a black color solid. So they ask you what will you see in the observation. What is the observation that you're going to observe? So you can write down. The observation that you're able to see is black solid turn brown. Why black solid? Because it's CuO becomes Cu. Okay, this method also able to find the empirical formula. You know why or not? Because you will also get copper oxide and copper mass. So you minus the mass, you get oxygen. Just now is Mg plus O2 become MgO ma. You also get these two mass, you minus, is MgO minus the Mg, you get the oxide mass. So say terbalik, that you got MgO, CuO, then you get Cu, then you minus to get oxygen. So this is how we get the mass. So you can see here, this is the combustion tube plus asbestos paper. Then this is the copper. Then this one with oxide. So to get the mass of the copper, 1, 2, 3, you take 2 minus 1. To get mass of oxygen, you take 3 minus 2, because number 3 is with oxygen, number 2 is without oxygen. The calculation, you should be quite pro even. You should be quite pro, because this time it is more complicated. But I want to go through all the theory first to make sure that you understand the theory. So the ratio, you also get 1 to 1. You also get 1 to 1. So what is the balance equation? Then you can write now, CuO burn with hydrogen and then becomes Cu plus H2O. So there will be some theory here. They will ask you about why hydrogen need to flow through continuously for a while before start the experiment. Then you can then you can mention that is related to the gas. Yeah.
So because you need to remove all the air inside the glass tube. If you don't remove, right, if inside the glass tube, inside got hydrogen gas and oxygen gas, oxygen gas is from air. These two add up together, you heat, right, you will explode. So you need to make sure there's no gas inside, only hydrogen. You need to remove all the air. Then, if they ask why this method cannot use for the magnesium, so very simple one, is because if you use magnesium oxide, you try to heat with hydrogen gas, there will be no reaction. Why no reaction? Because magnesium is more reactive. It's like magnesium more handsome, hydrogen less handsome. The girlfriend no running. Okay, so this one, I just briefly explain to you the both experiment. Then we'll try essay, a little bit essay that comparing these two. You will get a essay question that comparing these two experiments and ask you why this, why that, why this, why that, like that. Okay, so if you wanted the answer here, we'll straight away go for the essay which compare both experiment. Oh, then there's one more thing that it might ask in the exam also. They will ask you that why you need to make sure is you continue flow the hydrogen to make sure. Oh, this one I think no need. This one no need. Because your new slivers the oxygen won't able to flow back. Let me check. Yep, won't able to flow back. Because you have another protection on the other side. So do until here. So we will okay, now we go for those essay that comparing these two experiments. You'll get this in essay about maybe 5 to 10 marks at this. Okay. So let me go to the question. Those questions are comparing two. Okay, so turn to page 33. Okay, those essay that comparing both lah. Very theory. So you need to really know these two experiments well. Okay, so first thing, same thing, write out the empirical formula first, the definition. Standard one, if this chapter come out, they always ask about empirical formula definition. So please memorize this, you get 1 marks for this. I do a quick one for this, what we call the experiment. So you see here that this is how they come up with question. Show 2 different methods to determine empirical formula. Okay, so H and I. Yeah, can I be end of the lesson? Anyway, I will post the answer in the Google Drive. Later you just click, then you go to the answer there. You can download all the answer. Yeah, so don't worry about the answer part. Yeah, I also try to release class on time. Yep, because you need 1 hour enough break for you to rest a bit before go for the physics class later. Yeah, don't worry. But meantime, I need to explain to you how they come out with question. Okay, so this is how they're gonna ask you. You see, suggest X and Y. Okay, can you tell me, based on what you learned just now, can you suggest me who is X? You see, theory question, they're going to ask you a lot of understanding part. I choose magnesium. Okay, good. Okay, can you suggest me who is my Y? Copper. So far, okay, this I say, okay, so you get 2 marks for this today. But the one reason, okay, why we use magnesium? Do you still remember the reason? Why choose magnesium? Because it's reactive. Reactive to who? It's more reactive, right? It's reactive to oxygen. Okay, this copper, why you choose copper? You can mention about what? Less reactive, right? So less reactive than who? Hydrogen. This is a theory you have to know. Copper is less reactive than hydrogen. That's why the hydrogen can take away the girlfriend. This one is copper, sorry, not copper, magnesium, burn with oxygen.
You don't think theory easy? Or theory, they actually will ask you reason why. So you have to know both experiment well to answer accordingly. So we know that Mg is plus O2. So why we choose Mg? Because Mg is reactive towards oxygen. Then why we choose copper? Because copper less reactive than hydrogen. Because my reaction is copper to oxide plus oxygen become the chemical. Yeah, this is MgO balance equation to 2. This one becomes Cu plus H2O. So it's more reactive towards oxygen, is less reactive towards hydrogen. Theory. Today is considered very good that we learn so much thing in 2 hours. And then strengthen in chapter 3. Like chapter 3 is one of the chapter that you need to be very good before you enter chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6 at least. Then the next tough chapter is chapter 6. That I'm going to do a seminar with Form 5. So the one also, the video will be posted into the YouTube later. So when your school teach until chapter 6, you don't understand, you can watch the YouTube. But the one is for Form 5. You watch now, you don't understand that. Maybe maybe when you reach chapter 6, then near exam, you can watch by the chapter 6, the one we do it in Form 5 seminar. We choose chapter 3 and chapter 6 because these 2 chapters is one of the most important chapter for the students. Yeah, so write out the answer here. Now, other than this, right, can you see this is a 4 marks question, right? They ask you who is X, who is Y, why is magnesium, why is copper. Now, another potential essay they can come out for these 2 is something like this. They do something like this. Compare the method used, 6 marks here. Okay, compare. Now, so we try to write out the equation. One more time here. Then we do comparison. I write magnesium here. Then this is copper. Okay, H2O. Okay, please write on this one. They might come out. This is slightly more theory one. Okay, compare these 2. Can you find out one similarity? Because compare and contrast, you need to give me similarity and differences. So what's the similarity that you're able to detect from here? Similarity. Just try. Differences you can see a lot. But the problem is, what is the similarity? What do you think is the same? Able to find out the similarity? Both. Oh, this is metal, but this is metal oxide. Okay, so I'll give you the answer. The similarity they find out is both involve heating. There are 2 answers here. Don't we write now? Then you can remember as exam really came up. Both involve heating. Can you see both got heating? The similarity. Sorry, the color. Heating. Okay, second one, both is solid heat reacting with with a gas. Both metal cannot because one is metal oxide. Determine empirical formula, okay lah. But do you realize that your answer is here? So not sure your teacher accept or not. Because you're writing what is written in the question. Okay,
Okay, now I think similarity is a bit hard to find, but at least you can see from the diagram both are got heating lah, at least got about lah. So both you need to know is a solid reacting with gas, although the gas is different. Okay, so come give me the differences. I think you're very pro on giving me differences. It is so many differences. I want 3 differences. 3 differences. I think differences is like a lot. A lot. One metal oxide, very good. What else do you think? Come, just blah blah whatever point that can come up. What else you can see? 1 oxygen, 1 hydrogen, very good. The second point done already. What else? 1 crucible, 1 not crucible. 1 crucible is 1 is the combustion tube. Okay, the one okay lah. What else? What else? You look at here, 1 is metal produced, right? 1 is metal oxide produced. There are many differences. You can just write out whatever things that you think is good. Okay, so 1 is metal oxide, 1 is metal is formed. Okay, then another one reacting with oxygen, 1 reacting with hydrogen. Very good. Just a few of you can answer. Then what else now? The third one would be 1 the mass increase, 1 the mass decrease. So remember not the mg is less, the mass is lesser, lower. MgO is like the mass increase. Then for copper 2 oxide, the mass is original very high. Then after they become copper lesser mass. White residue, brown residue. Oh, very good. 1 white color residue, because this is white color. Very good. This is good answer. White color. This is brown. Okay. So your essay, you might get 1 essay like this, that they're going to ask you compare these 2 experiments. So write down the differences. This is called theory question. So if this theory maximum can 8 marks, so 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark, 4 mark, 5 mark, 6 mark, 7 mark, 8 marks. If they increase to 10 marks, you give me another differences. So maybe white solid is formed, brown solid is formed. Then what else you all give me? Quite a good answer as well. One more reactive metal, 1 less reactive metal also okay. I want to make sure the theory, because the essay structure will look something what we did just now, the 2 questions. Can draw table, if they are to compare, can draw. Compare and contrast. They got compare, can draw already. But the other compare cannot, must write in essay. But if compare, you can draw. Essay can. As long as compare, you can draw table to compare. Yeah, so you need to have this keyword. Okay. So you try one more similar. I want to make sure this essay you are good, because the calculation and make sure you are very pro already. Then the essay, whether you do this essay or not, really depends on you okay with the essay or not. Okay, so now we look at this question 6C. That the first experiment, lah, crucible lah. Then this is the combustion tube lah. Then they will ask you about here a 4 marks question. Okay, first thing, give me a suitable metal for P and Q. So again, see whether you can answer that. So P, who is P? Mg. Okay, who is Q? Very pro now, right? Oh, the answer like very easy. Okay, copper. So what do you want? Why number 1 suitable
for P, why number 2 suitable for Q? So we have answer here. We what happened now? Let me check. They give you many answers, but you can stick to one answer. Metal Q is less reactive. Metal. Yeah, the two roughly like this. Yeah, so okay, the answer will be given in the what we call the Google Drive. So I just do a quick revision on the experiment. Maybe you give me a 3 minutes time. Now, for those students that you have full paper means you're going to have 2 essays, right? One of the essay they ask you to describe the experiment. So now you don't need to write anything. I just discussed because the answer will be given in the drive. You can just download and copy the answer later. So chapter 3, right? If you ask me, chapter 3, which experiment will need you to describe will be the crucible. Because crucible, they quite frequent in SPM. So I'll try to show you here a quick one. Just give me about 5 minutes time. I explain to you how to explain the crucible experiment. So if you have the notes, you can move to you can go to page 13. I just roughly go through the step page 13. Just roughly go through. This is the one that okay, very good. You get very good marks here. So this is how it looks like. I need to prepare you for this one. This one might come out in SPM before, so also for SPM. So see, at the beginning, I will measure the mass of the crucible. So can you see the first mass we calculate is mass of the crucible and the lid. Then second step, you will need to, because the magnesium ribbon outside is oxide, so you have to use sandpaper to clean it first. Then coil the magnesium ribbon, put inside here. So number 2 is put inside here. Then number 3, you measure the mass. Now just now is crucible plus lid. Now got magnesium ribbon. So magnesium ribbon. So you measure the mass it is. So here number 3, where is the step number 3 here? Weigh the mass of the crucible together with the lid and the magnesium. Then number 4, start to heat. Now heat it without the cover first. Heat until it start to burn. Close it. So remember, close it, don't open. You'll fly out. Okay, you'll fly out. Then number 5, use a pair of tongs. Open up for oxygen to enter. Okay. Then when the burning is complete, allow it to cool down to room temperature. Then weight the mass. Now this time when you weight, right, it's inside is no longer is mg. It's already become mgo. So the step number 7 is you measure behind MGO. Okay, so how the question will come out in the exam, you can turn to page 35. Just a quick one because I know I need you to go to the rest of it. So page 35. Now, your essay might get something like this. It's a 10 marks essay. Then they want you to describe how do you determine the empirical formula for magnesium oxide. So this one don't need to copy it because I'm going to post the answer there. So you don't waste time on copy. I just explain to you. So first, you see, the roughly go through the step. Measure the empty one. After measure the empty one, magnesium ribbon had to clean the oxide layer out. Then, what is the next step? You have to measure the mass, but this time is the crucible, the lid, and the magnesium. So this is the second mass. Then after that, start to heat. Heat until they start to burn. Close it. Must close. If you book out the white film, come out, then gone already. Okay. Then open up a bit. Open up a bit means like this. You don't open up too big. It's like, okay, this is the crucible. You just open up a bit like this. You don't like open like this, then all fly out. So you open up a bit up a bit, close back, up a bit, close back, up a bit, close back. Okay. Then after that, the next step, after a few minutes, right, you let him cool down, measure the mass, record the mass. Then you repeat until mass becomes stored in a number. But this experiment I want to discuss because your school exam, they will ask you to do calculation. What is my calculation? You see, now I got 3 mass. One is crucible plus metal, one is crucible plus the metal oxide. So how do you write the number? Because I'm not yet carry out the experiment, ma. So you assume a number. This is M1, M2, M3, like this. Then you know that to calculate the magnesium mass, you will take number 2 minus number 1. Okay, so you can see this is crucible, the lip, then this is metal X, and X, then this is the one with oxide. So you take 2 minus 1, this one use 3 minus 2. So you because you're not yet done the experiment, you assume M1, M2, M3. So magnesium is M2 minus M1, then oxygen is M3 minus M2. Then how do you get the mass? One is divided by 24, because Mg is 24, O is 16. Then you'll get a ratio P and Q. Then your empirical formula will be P and Q. Are you all roughly okay with this or not? Because normally the procedural students might okay, but the calculation part, they might stuck there that don't know how to write the number because you don't have a number. So you just assume M1, M2, M3, then M2 minus M1, M3 minus M2, then divide by 24, divide by 16, you get a ratio of P to Q or X to Y like this. Okay, no problem. This one, if you really came out, then roughly you know the answer lah. So the answer will be posted in the Google Classroom for you. Google Drive for you. So you can download it. You can just go back to the website that where you enter the seminar. There will be the notes and answer. Then you just click in, then you go to the Google Drive. You can download whatever answer for all the subjects. So I will see you next week. I will see you in the future if you're coming back. I will see you next week if you mean the normal class. Okay. So you go to have a rest first. Then after that, after 1 hour, you go for the physics class. Okay. Bye-bye.